Yeah, what to say? I mean, basically there is no message. There is nothing to say in the end. So what apparently happens, is all there is, and there's nothing too much, and there's nothing that can be taken away from what happens. So it's just everything. It's naturally whole, and it's naturally everything. There's nothing to find in what happens. There's nothing to gain something from what happens. It's just all there is, and at the same time it's empty. So there's nothing in there to find. It's just everything and nothing. It's full and empty. It's sitting in a room. It's not an it. It's not a separate it. It's not a hidden reality or something. What we talk about is sitting in a room and being you and being me and thinking and chairs in the room, all of that. This is empty and full. This is everything and nothing. And one could say the whole idea that there is anything additional to find, that there is an additional realization to what happens, would be part of a dream. And what we would regard as the dream today, just as a story, what we would regard as a dream would be the experience to be something in contrast to all the other things, which I'm not. One could say this is the dream. There is something in here which is me, presence, awareness, consciousness, a soul, a person, something in here which is separate from everything else. This would be seen as the dream. And the whole idea that there is anything additional to find in sitting in a room, in being me, in experiencing life, would be part of that dream, to be something, of that experience to be something. The apparent dilemma for the person is that this need, the longing for wholeness, the seeking energy for anything, will never be answered, because the experience to exist, so to speak, is the cause for the longing, is the cause for the seeking energy. So what we talk about today, liberation, so to speak, which is already a story, liberation is not something that happens for the person. It's not something that happens for that me, so to speak. It's not another experience. One could say what we talk about, or what we point out, is that the whole experience to be something, and to only experience life, to only experience a room, to only experience being me, so to speak, being that body, is a dream. It's an illusion. And the whole need to find something, the whole need to gain something from what I experience, is part of that illusion. It's not only that nothing can be found, it's also that actually nothing has been lost. It's a dream that I still need something. It's just a dream that there is an I who still needs an additional realization, who needs to find fulfillment, who needs to find joy or peace as an ongoing state. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as a person, and there is no such thing as personal enlightenment or personal peace or joy or fulfillment and all that stuff. It just doesn't exist. One could say that's why no one really succeeds in getting there. It's not because there is someone who doesn't manage. No, there isn't anyone in the first place. So all those attempts to become whole or fulfilled are just circling around within a dream. It never leaves the dream. Nothing becomes realized in that. Never. It's just circling around an illusory reality. And that's almost saying too much, because it still sounds as if there is something like an illusory reality. No, it's not there. It's not there. It's just assumed that there is someone who still needs to find something. and that I'm someone who is on a path towards the actual thing, towards the actual experience, or towards what life is actually about in all those stories. No, there isn't something as life, and this apparent life isn't about anything. So, all there is what happens, all there is this, and it's naturally whole, and for nothing, it's nothing, and it's for nothing. And it's free to be as it is, and it is as it is. And it's naturally and blindly whole. It's just whole. That's basically all I have to say. So. Maybe seen from the me, liberation looks exactly the same as death. It's just like liberation in that sense, in that story, would just be the end of the experience to be something which is present, which is now here. It's just the end of that. There is no realization in that. There is no recognition in that. There is no experience of arriving in that. There is no experience of having arrived. No, it's just the end of experiencing itself, so to speak. In a way, by it turning out that it's not happening in the first place. Mm-hmm.
So this is not happening?
No. Or yes. But yes, it's not happening. This isn't something which really happens.
What is then happening?
Well, nothing really, but no one knows that. Or one could say the only thing which believes to experience something is me. It's the only thing which has an experience of I'm something that happens and I'm aware of everything else, so this is something that happens. But that's the dream, so to speak.
the apparent me, the apparent I.
Yeah.
I seem to navigate in a dream. I seem to navigate,
Yeah.
and that's the dream. Are there anything that the I, the apparent I, can do to affect the dream?
Well, both is the dream in a way.
So about the dream, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about health, I have cancer.
Yes.
Can I do anything in the apparent dream to change this condition?
Well, there is no real answer to that, because if it would be what apparently happens, and not really because of you doing it or not, or you trying to influence the dream, or not the dream, that's not the dream, you trying to influence circumstances,
Yes.
is what apparently happens or not. The dream would be that there really is a person who is consciously doing that or not. But if it is what happens, that's what apparently happens. And if it works or not, is what apparently happens as well. Already, so to speak. There already isn't anyone doing or not doing it. So in that sense, that would be the dream, that there really is someone who has a life and who can consciously navigate through that life.
I hear what you say, but I still cannot get it.
No, of course not. No. Well, it's impossible because the one who wants to get it is an illusion.
Yeah.
So that's why it doesn't work. It doesn't work for anyone, basically. But it's not getting it because of a conceptual problem. It just contradicts the person's experience. And the person's experience is presence. I'm real. I'm here. I'm real. I know it. I experience it. I'm here. So...
When you use the terms illusion and dream, are there differences between those two, or are those the same thing?
No, I just... No. I mean, it's a story anyway, because basically that there is a dream or an illusion is the illusion, so, or is part of the illusion. So. Which can't be explained. That's the logical part about it then. It's not that there is an illusion of me. There is no me, so it's somehow an illusion or a dream or...
So the illusion is there to experience itself because it needs some story.
Well, it's not really there for anything, but that's how it experiences itself. Or that a self-experience would be the illusion, so to speak. That there is something which experiences itself and the world. Yeah. That's what it consists of, so to speak. That's the only thing what the illusion is, so to speak. an apparent self-experience.
Because it needs to invent itself. Because it can.
No, no, it doesn't really need to invent itself, but the illusion is that I'm something that has been invented, so to speak. That has been born, that is now here and has been born.
It creates the story, creates that story.
And one could say pretty quickly there seems to be the need for an answer and the creating a story. Yeah. Because it seems to be that the experience to just be present just isn't enough. So
couldn't even be perceived.
Again?
The presence couldn't be perceived.
Could not be.
Could not be perceived because it's...
Well, in the end it's not
nothing.
there. Yes. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
When talking about ending this illusion,
Yeah.
or the end of this illusion, and there is nothing that can be done.
Yes.
You can't end it.
Yes.
Then what is there to be? What's needed? Then?
Oh, there is no answer. Nothing is needed. Because in a way that the idea to end the illusion is already part of the illusion. So nothing needs to end the illusion, so to speak. No, nothing is needed. Nothing can be done. Nothing is needed. Basically because there is no one in the first place. This is it. In a way, literally. Not as a... I'm not trying to give a hidden message or something. No, this is it. I know, it's a bit sad, but... And the question would be, that's not your words, but the question would be, this is all there is. And then the person would say, yeah, but I want to become enlightened. How do I do that? And there's nothing there which could even hear the question, nor could answer back. It's just shouting into silence. Shouting into emptiness. What can I do?
But then then the illusion could tell itself that it's already enlightened, that there's no enlightenment to gain, everything is whole the way it is.
Yes. But, yeah. I mean, it's trying to do that. But we would need to do that again and again and again and again. But, yeah. I mean, in a way, that's the person's life, in a way. To try to do it. But you can't tell yourself one time, oh, I'm enlightened, and then not do it for the rest of your life. You have to remember it again and again.
What's next?
Yeah. So that's the person's experience. Like, I'm here. What I experience now can't be it. So I have to do something. Either to feel into what is, or to earn money, or to be aware of it, or to convince myself to be already enlightened, or something. Yeah. Yeah. It's trying. Yeah. But it's in a way working for an artificial state. That's why you have to constantly work on it. Again and again and again. That's alright, but it's not needed. It's working on a dream. And the assumption is, when I feel in a certain way, when I have a certain experience, this experience will give me something. Which is a complete dream. Not at all.
But something's changed in you. Shouldn't this change happen to me too?
Well, it wasn't. Well, the surprise was that nothing changed actually. So, but if you want to take the story, it would be, yeah, of course. There is no one. Yeah. Well, it never really happens to you, of course. Yeah. But of course, I mean, there is no one.
There is no one.
Yeah. So it's not a real change. It's a story.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is there then, when there is no one?
Well, that can't be said. Exactly because there is no one. I mean, that's the thing. There's just nothing there which could have a look. I mean, the person, if you're here now, you can have a look. Oh, what's really here? Let's have a look. Let's see. Let's look outside. Let's feel inside. Let's check via awareness what's actually going on. But exactly that which usually could have a look or lives in the illusion to be able to have a look is an illusion. So there is no answer to how it actually is and what is and if this is something which is. Exactly, that's the dream. So what is, how it actually really truly is, it can't be answered. And I mean, the surprise was in the end when it turned out that there is no one there in the first place. The surprise was that it didn't make a difference. While I was always assuming that there has to be a difference. Whatever that would look like, I always thought that something has to change. I have to change, or the world has to change, or whatever. Usually, it was about me. I didn't have too much expectations in the world. And I felt wrong enough. Yeah. But the surprise was when it turned out that there is no one there, that nothing changed actually.
But how do one react to questions like, how are you feeling, if like outside the illusion? How do you feel?
Quite okay. Apparently. Yeah, oh, there just comes a reaction. Or not. So, you don't need anyone to have a look. That would be already part of the dream, though. I mean, the person immediately feels addressed. How do you feel? Then the person, oh, well, I don't know, I have to check. But it just comes a response or not. It's functioning. But it would be a story, of course.
mind will never understand this.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's best not to try.
Well, well, seen from the person, to not try would be another
Yeah.
try. Yeah, yeah. But there's no need. Yeah,
No need to understand.
yeah. There's no need to seek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, as I said, it's not really a mind thing, actually. I mean, when I say there is no one, it contradicts the person's experience completely. Because the person's experience says, not coming from the mind, but coming from an experience, so to speak, is, yeah, but I'm here and I'm real. So it's not really an understanding thing. Of course, also there is no answer in the mind or in thinking about how it is. But it's basically because what the person consists of is the experience to be me and to be separate. So even if it understands the concept or a concept of this, the experience still is, I'm here. I'm me, I'm separate, I'm me. And there is an unfulfillment around this experience to be me. It's, one could say, energetic or felt. This can't be talked away. Even if the concept is understood that everything is whole and complete, whatever that means. But it's just not the person's experience, which is an experience of separation. So there's an instant need, so to speak. And this can't be answered. Yeah. And that's the dilemma of the person, so to speak, to only consists of being the person. And it's in a way absurd, so to speak, for the person to become no person. That's what I mean. This would be death. It's not. It's impossible. Exactly. So all the person consists of is the experience to be present and the apparent need to seek and to work, to do something. In that sense, the person can't stop being the person and still be there. To be consciously no person. That's a contradiction. That doesn't exist.
Have this, like, it's an experience machine, and so the machine's not going to run without an experience.
It is experiencing, exactly. And all it is working for is another experience. Of course. Otherwise it would be really silly to work for something and not
Produce that thing.
to work for something and not be there to experience it. So in a way, all the seeking energy and all the effort that the me does, to be conscious, to be aware, to meditate, to listen, to not listen, is of course all in order to be there and experience the results. It's all about me being there. All practice is about me being there and earning the fruits of my effort. Oh yeah, of course.
That the illusion is created. The fruits that are being perceived are the fruits that the illusion's created.
Kind of. That's what apparently happens, yeah. That what seems to be happening is me only confirms itself. In whatever it does, it will never confirm the opposite. Me will never inquire into reality and find out that, oh, I'm actually not there. Bottom line is always I'm there. Wherever I look, whatever I do, whatever I think, I always end up with myself. So yeah, what apparently happens is me is constantly confirming its existence. Apparently, of course. Yes. Because it's not conscious. It's also not something that is consciously being done. I mean, it's alright, there's nothing wrong with that, but it never leaves the dream. And of course the story me tells itself is that when I do, it at some point may lead to the actual thing, whatever the actual thing is. The hope is in a way that my efforts lead beyond me, so to speak. Which is a dream.
I think before you mentioned that was, there's nothing beyond the dream and the goals that you set.
For the me.
For the dream, for the me.
Yeah.
And that's sad. But I think the opposite could be perceived but there's no thing to be sad about. And so if the me can slightly embrace that perception, it could be viewed as a good piece.
Well, theoretical. But this would be another attempt to make my experience, to turn my experience into something that's good. I mean, it's not right or wrong. I mean, me isn't right or wrong, but it would be another attempt to try to make my actual unfulfillment into something fulfilled. Namely, when I can see that it's actually good.
To fulfill your unfulfillment.
Well, that's the task. That's the illusory task me is living in, of course.
Right, but the reality is there is no.
There is no me. Exactly.
It's all there. It is what it is.
So to speak, it's naturally whole and complete. But basically because there are no ideas about fulfillment or unfulfillment in the first place. Or the only thing that lives in that.
Even that is part of the illusion.
Exactly, absolutely.
It's just what apparently happens.
Exactly, that there is something as a person and personal fulfillment. Totally, yes. It doesn't exist. It's a dream. It's not needed also. That something needs additional fulfillment to sitting in a room and breathing and thinking and feeling and all that stuff. And the me says, yeah, that's all fine, but I want to be fulfilled. Oh, all right. Whatever. But, yeah. But I mean, there are a lot of teachings around which try to do that, actually. To give the experience to be a person value. Like divine awareness. I am is the natural reality. That's a divine presence. It's all attempts to turn it into something good and worthy and all that stuff. But it constantly needs to remember that it's good and holy and important and God's way to experience himself and all that. All that stuff.
The universe experiencing itself.
Yeah, exactly. It needs me to do that.
On the platform.
But does the illusion still operate in some way,
No.
faded way? No, it's just cease to exist.
Yes, exactly. Well, and even that's a story, because cease to exist somehow is still sounds like a step from presence to absence. But the weird thing and the unexplainable thing about that is that it somehow, which sounds weird as well, it turns out that it's not there in the first place. It's not even that there is a real illusion of me that suddenly drops and then everything is different. No, in a very funny and weird way, it turns out that it's not present in the first place. And that basically nothing happens. That it's already as it is, so to speak. Yeah. So the turning out that it's not present is the ceasing at the same time. It can't be explained really. It's not logical, but yeah. Yeah. So there isn't even something really ceasing or waking up from a dream or disintegrating or whatever. It's not there. But this is not logical.
So it's like an animal is being itself and living, and it's just thinking, making it some.
As a human, or one could say the only thing that thinks that it's separately alive is self-consciousness. It's not even the body that thinks that. It's just the only thing that says, yeah, but I'm here, is this assumed center in here. Nothing else does that. One could say nothing in the whole universe, in the whole apparent universe, has a clue about the existence of me. It's just me living in the dream I am. Nothing else does that. It's gorgeous. It's brilliant. Yeah. So in a way, everything just is itself. In the end, even the illusion to be me. But yeah.
What is this knowing that there is no me?
Well, that's not known.
What is it? What is it?
What do you mean?
I mean, that what is that knowing that there is no me?
Well, it's not really known that there is no me.
So?
One could say it's just a report.
Okay. And who is reporting this?
It's an apparent report.
Okay.
Yes. But it's exactly not coming from an awareness. It's exactly not coming from someone first having a look. Oh, let's see, is there a me or not? That would be the assumption of the person, and then it would be knowing. No, it's just... It's not meant in a special way. It's just direct. It's just like saying, I'm sad, it's 7 o'clock, there is no one. But there's nothing there which could have a look, or needs to have a look. It's not knowing.
What
Liberation is not me having understood that there is no me, or me knowing that there is no me, or me experiencing that there is no me. No, there just is no me.
Yeah.
But this is not known.
Yeah.
This is not another information that I carry around, and because I have that information, compared to you, for example, I'm liberated or whatever. No, that doesn't exist. It's not something that has to be known or recognized or understood or realized or any of that. That's impossible, basically.
But still it's here. We are somehow having this discussion of this.
Apparently. Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not really discussing something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can't be understood.
Yeah.
sitting in a room and asking questions and answering questions. Can't be understood. No one knows what it is. Or if it is. Yeah. So I'm not presenting something that I have to you, hoping that you might get it at one point. Zero expectation on my side. On anyone getting anything. I mean, that would be the dream of the person, so to speak, that I have arrived, for example, that I have arrived when I can honestly and consciously say that there is no one. But this will never happen. This does not exist. That point will never come. Whatever the story is, that I can feel consciously and honestly loved completely, or whatever the story is of what brings about fulfillment. But that point does not exist. It will never come. Never. Also, never. It doesn't need to. It's a dream. That's exactly the illusion. That I'm now here and that this point still has to come. And when I have arrived at that point, then it's good. For me. But no, that's all. Not at all. No. It does not exist. And it's not needed, of course. It's already an assumption that I need that I need to come to that experience. No, of course not. I mean, in the story, one could say it happens all the time that people live 80 years living in the dream that this isn't it yet, that isn't it yet. But somehow they live for 80 years quite okay. Constantly thinking, yeah, but I have to become enlightened. I have to become fulfilled still. It's all right.
Somehow we all know this.
Yeah.
I don't mean knowledge, but somehow we all know this.
Yes, one could say so, yeah. Well, it's all there is. In a funny way, it's almost not possible to not know it.
Yeah.
Or it's impossible to not be it. It's just it. Oh yeah, of course. Oh yes. Because in a very funny way, to experience oneself as someone and live in the illusion to be on a path towards the actual thing is it too. So there's nothing missed in that. Because obviously, or apparently obvious, that's what happens. So that's it. It's not that there's really someone lost in the illusion to be someone.
So there is this contradiction and this apparently, on the one hand it knows what's being said here
Yes.
is true, and on the other hand, the me is still all the time afraid of dying.
Exactly, yeah, one could say so, yeah. Yeah. That's what apparently happens. Yeah. Yeah. There is no answer to this. But, yeah. 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 I mean, again, knowing is a bit a strange word.
Yes.
Because, of course, bottom line for the me, it sounds a bit like, it can be known in a way, and it will turn it around again and say, now I have to fully come to know it.
Yeah.
But no. It just is like that. It's so ordinary. Sitting in a room and breathing and being you. But no one arrives in that. That would be another possibility of thinking like, at some point this will be my reality. That I arrive in that. No.
If the illusion would stop for everyone, would we have something to discuss? Or like?
Well, no.
What would you do then?
What?
What would you do?
Well, I have no idea.
Be a plumber.
Yeah. Joking about the good old times. But it wouldn't be really different from this. It would just be what apparently happens. Like this.
about this being and being.
Yeah.
Did apparent Andreas,
Yeah.
did you have this kind of period like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
was it long?
Some years. Yeah.
Some years.
Just some years.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just some years.
Just some years.
Yeah.
One could maybe it was 1/3 of my life. But it wasn't very long altogether. But
Was it clear? This being and being.
no, not at all. Actually, that was not my story to it, because I basically thought that I am someone who's on a path, who sometimes is very close to having it, and who was able to lose it. I didn't come across the story that there is meaning and being.
Yeah.
It was all about me having it and me not having it. That was my story that I basically lived in. Yeah, but looking back, it was meaning and being. Yeah.
What do you mean? Being and being.
Well, what apparently can happen, it's a story, is that there are holes in the story in the experience to be present. And it's like for a while there is no me, and then me seems to come back. And then experience itself as I'm here, and I have to do something, and life is about something, and I have to do that, stuff like that. And this happens for quite a lot of people, I would say.
So now then, what is your story?
My story.
If you say you look back and that's how the story was before.
What?
So that's the reference that there's a new
What?
story.
My story, well, there's no... Who cares? I'm sorry, it's really...
No worries.
Yeah, it's, well,
What's apparently happening?
yeah, I lived and then I died. That's basically... That sums it up quite well. Seeking, spiritual seeking and that stuff. Mostly. Yeah. Trying this and that. Yeah. And then, well, the end. Sorry, I was really badly told.
Do you feel your body? Do you feel your heartbeat or?
Not really, no.
What do you feel?
Well, that's in the end, that's really hard to say, because in a way the one that you are addressing is the illusion. But
Yes.
yeah, but apparently there's a body. And, yeah, but there's nothing really aware of that, so to speak. There isn't a separate awareness which believes itself to be me, which is aware, of a functioning body, of heartbeat, of thoughts, of heat. And for the person this would be the only reality. Oh yeah, of course there's a body. Of course I feel the body. I can do that because I'm there and I'm conscious of it. So. But not really, so to speak. But feeling the body happens. So. Yeah. But there isn't anyone observing a body, so to speak. There aren't two, me and the body, me and the feelings, me and the heartbeat.
What about time?
Time.
How is it experienced in the apparent details?
Well, in the end, not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So a concept like infinity, it doesn't exist.
Oh, totally, exactly. There is no infinity. Yeah. Or there is no experience of infinity. Yes, yes. Yeah. Or that something continues, or there is something which goes on. Yeah. No, this would be all part of the personal experience. Because that's in a way the invention of time is the experience that I'm now here.
Yeah. That something will happen and something has happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it starts with here and now. Yeah. And both would be part of the personal experience. The experience of infinity, something going on forever, like space.
And here and now is also actually experience
of the person.
me.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. Here
Yes.
and now doesn't exist either.
There is. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's in a way. It's exactly the person's experience. I'm now here, and all I have is what I experience now. And this isn't enough. That's why the answer to that is you have to be present in the now. Again, something you have to do. Yeah. because that's the dilemma of the person. Just this can't be it. What I experience right now can't be it. Sorry. That's not what I meditated my whole life for. To sit in this room with Andreas. This is not the purpose of my life. Yeah. Exactly. That's here and now. And the answer in that story would be, oh, maybe if I'm present enough, I can squeeze enough life out of it for me. But it's hard work. And funny enough, even the answer in that teaching, so to speak, the answer is me. The answer to my unfulfillment again is me. Be present. It's great. In that sense, it's timeless, but not as another experience of timelessness. There just is nothing present which says, this is now happening. No. And I can say that because I'm now experiencing it. That would be the invention of time and space. Not as a concept, but as seen from the person, that's an actual experience. But that's why, in a way, those here and now teachings are so attractive for the person, because the person can immediately say, oh yes, that's true, I can follow that. True, yeah. All that's there is what I experience now. True. It's logical. It can be experienced still. That's something where me can easily say yes to it. But it's unknowable. Sitting in a room, being you, being me, this feeling, thinking, is just unknowable. And it doesn't need to know itself, so to speak. Or experience itself as something, or need to know about itself. No, it just is itself, so to speak. Automatically, already.
Is it so that nothing really changes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Nothing really changes, but there's also nothing which is always the same.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
it's blind. It's completely blind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And when you somehow this timeless timeless wonder, so it's not really. There's not really time or.
No. There is no timeless wonder. It's a name for a website. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if there was the wrong impression. Yes, exactly. Nothing changes. Or no change brings about something new. Yeah, it's all empty. Yes, oh totally.
I was thinking about animals. They don't have any, apparently it doesn't have any sense on me, but still they have obviously an action to stay alive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, if a lion hides an antelope, the antelope flies away because it wants to stay alive.
Yeah.
Is that some order or what is that?
Well, in the end, that's just what apparently happens.
Yeah.
And one could say it's even the same with the body. I mean, the body also tries to survive, but not really in order to something. One could say the person wants to stay alive because it still wants to find fulfillment.
Yeah.
But the body, in a way, doesn't need, there's no need for the body to be alive. It just does what it does. And either it works out or not. Even the tiger is fast enough or not. So, and in that, I mean, it's all in the story a bit, but the body is fine to die. But for me, it's hard in a way because it still needs to find fulfillment. So that's the act. Seen from the person, that would be the intention to stay alive. The body does what it does, as good as it can, so to speak. Yeah. Which in the end is what apparently happens. Also, this can't be known, why it is like that, or if it is like that in the end. But that's what seems to be happening. Yeah. And one body can run faster and the other one not so fast. Apparently.
So the illusion is just like another function of the body. If the body, the heart beats, and the body also then creates the illusion.
Well, yes and no. The funny thing is that the illusion of me never really gets created, so it's not even a real function. It's totally unlogical and not explainable, but it's not there. But in the story one could say what apparently happens is that most people would assume themselves to be someone. Yeah. For no reason. Okay, so this is all there is. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.